Live in the Fantasy Lounge. As always, Mikey Mack on the mic, and to the left, the commish, Randy Hansen. And Randy, one day away, less than 24 hours. First game of the year, New England, Pittsburgh. How you feeling?
Jitters. I just got jitters. Got the bubble guts going on. I can't believe we're back. It's finally here. Much waited for. Much agonized over. Fantasy football's back.
It is back, ready to go. Any plans for tomorrow?
Any plans? I'm off. Probably get hammered drunk.
Okay. If I didn't have work, if I didn't have to educate the youth, then I'd be right there with you. But that's neither here nor there. Now, one thing we have to address before we bring in our guest, the amount of trash talk this year has been unprecedented. Now, what has led to this? And is this the most trash talking you've seen all year? Any league that you've been in?
Mike, you know me. I love it. We're in each other's asses right now, just grinding up. But you know what? I'm surprised for all the shit talk we talked over the years. Like, we've been friends with a bunch of these morons for over 12 years. You know what I'm saying? But we're getting soft. A lot of sensitive skin going on. We got stupid texting me, oh, what's about my team? Sending me pictures and stuff. He said, you know what he looked like? He looked like that cock girl in high school that went away to college and had too many beers. You know what I'm saying? Had too many beers, she comes back, she just wants someone to tell her she's pretty. Well, Dave, your team's pretty, bud.
Yeah, I got a little text from Dave as well. Not too happy with some of the remarks, but that's why we're gonna have him on the lounge.
I can't wait to come step in our office.
Yeah, let him set the record straight. I always look forward to a nice communication with Dave Stupid. Now, we do have a very special guest today, someone that you're into it with.
Oh, week one matchup, buddy.
Week one matchup. All the way from straight out of work.
Straight out of work.
But man, Waldo in the lounge tonight. Welcome, Waldo.
What's up, guys? Thanks for having me.
Waldo,
what's up, man?
Welcome to the lounge.
No stranger kind of controversy, my man.
Oh, no. Yeah. Can you feel it? Can you stand between us right now without getting hurt?
I mean, the tension is real. Very palpable right now.
Good use of that word.
I don't even know if that's the right way to use it.
I don't even know. I've never
Cut
heard
the
that
tension
word before.
with a knife.
Cut the tension with a knife. Now, my fella. But, no stranger to controversy. Probably the biggest thing so far happening in our league, Jordy Nelson getting hurt. What was your emotion when you found out that Jordy Nelson was out for the year?
I was pissed, man. Fuck you, Gallagher. It's all your fault. Honestly, it just ruined my whole draft plan,
Just a year of waste, just down the tube. One day in the draft.
One day after the draft, I was actually, Jordy was trade bait for me, honestly, because I had Dez at 1, Edelman at 2. I had Charles Johnson and Brian Quick to bring in and play around with my 3. I needed to, bolster my running backs and my tight ends. That ended up ruining my plans. So
are you telling me right now you traded Jordy Nelson?
I was trading
for a tight end.
For a tight end and a running back. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You don't even deserve him. I'm glad he got hurt. You don't deserve him.
Hey man, it was going to either be him or Edelman. So
yeah, definitely Jordy has more trade value.
And Jordy's got more trade value. I wanted to bolster the two.
I can't recall a time when someone that highly regarded that we drafted got hurt. For the the end of the year. I mean, so that's a big loss. Now, Here's the thing: are you that confident in Charles Johnson and Brian Quick?
Charles Johnson, yeah. I mean, I'll throw him at you later, but I got some good stats for him.
We'll look forward to hear that.
I'd love to hear some.
We'll hear some Charles Johnson stats.
Stuck for stats, boys. Stuck for stats.
With every guest on the lounge, the hot seat.
Okay.
Waldo, you ready to feel the heat?
I'm ready for it, bro.
All right, now, how many wins this year for you in fantasy?
7, at least.
At least 7.
At least 7.
You're saying your playoffs?
I'm
playoff bound.
Playoffs for sure.
Bags are packed.
I've only missed the playoffs, I think, twice in this league. So,
Yeah, for people that want to come at Waldo, he gave a pretty impressive stat. He is one of the more competitive players in our league. So
yeah, all right.
Hats off to you, Waldo.
Yeah. So I mean, I think you guys just like to.
I will never forget in this league my opportunity to finally play for the championship with RG3. I'm playing Waldo. This takes you back to week 1. That's why it's so big. It's a rivalry. Going to the championship. Randy's finally going to make it. RG3's killing. Randy's team puts up a stinker. 56 points. Waldo beat me by 100. Fantasy, I haven't recuperated from that year.
Man. Yeah. Sorry about that, Randy. You know, but you might be able to redeem yourself this week.
Is that your favorite fantasy football memory?
No, actually, it's not. It's one of them. It's up there. It's up there. But honestly, my favorite was last year semifinals versus Lewis.
Oh, yeah.
I was up going into the Monday night game. It was the Bears versus Steelers. He had Le'Veon going, and I had Bennett and Alshon going. I think Le'Veon goes in for like a 15-yarder with like 2 minutes left, and I'm down by like 15. I'm pissed. I'm throwing shit at the ball. I'm mad, thinking, oh, it's over. I'm out. All of a sudden, Alshon Jeffrey and Martellus Bennett just
popped off
all the way down the field for a touchdown.
Just garbage points too.
Garbage
The
points.
game was
Yeah,
out
the
of reach.
game was out of reach. We were down by more than 21. Lewis, took it like a good sport. Texted me late that night. It's a good game. Shout out to you, Lewis.
Yeah,
it's
low
good
class. Lewis is always good for a good classy move.
That's good publicity for Lewis right there.
Yeah.
Now, better route runner, you or Ryan Alberg?
I'm not even gonna answer that.
Two
bro.
former Oakland receivers, by the
I'm
way.
not even gonna answer that, bro. If I had a quarterback that liked me, I might have actually, been
It didn't
able-
matter what route Wally was running. Be running routes in the parking lot.
I was wide open all night, and just I guess it was just the animosity between me and Dave.
I mean, that's something we're going to have to ask Dave when he comes on the lounge about why he didn't throw to you. Now, more likely to happen in the next 6 months, you getting the speeding ticket or making the fantasy football playoffs?
Playoffs. I don't even speed them. I haven't got a speeding ticket in like 3 years. Randy, you can look it up for us.
3 years?
Yeah.
3 years, he said. I say both, maybe, for Waldo. A little double banger action.
You can never count Waldo out with anything with car related. It's
Oh.
No, man, I got no luck, bro. No luck, but it's alright.
Well, Waldo, you're officially off the hot seat.
Off the hot seat.
Off the
Now
hot
I'm
seat.
sweating a little bit there, bro.
Now, here's what we all came for. Here's what we're all excited for, too. Breaking down the matchups for Week 1
First breakdown,
of
Travis.
fantasy football.
Let's do it.
First
And
breakdown.
We're going to start with...
Can we just say the implements of what the first game of the season's bringing? This is division games, buddies. Division games. I think, 4 wins, you win your division. You need
Yeah.
4 games. This is huge implements to make the playoffs. It's right away in Week 1. Got to step up right out of the gates. You got to be the horse.
If you go 4-2 in the division, you set yourself up very nicely.
Yeah.
So,
I'm thinking
I mean,
4-2
then
wins
All
the
you need
division.
to do is beat what's his name, McCarthy and what's his head Channel's 2 garbage teams. So
I'm glad you know some of the players in our league.
no, the first match we're going to get into, the much maligned Dave Steuben versus the new guy, Mike McCarthy. And I'm going to kick it off with this. Who has a bigger game? Matt Ryan against Philadelphia, who's on McCarthy's team, or Russell Wilson, who's playing St. Louis?
Matt Ryan, 100%. I think Russell Wilson might have a steady game, but maybe 1 rushing touchdown, maybe 1 passing, but I don't see him popping up. You got it. Matt Ryan's going to throw the ball a ton, and he's got Julio. So it's a big game. And what was Eagles? Last in
31st against the pass last year.
31st against the pass. He's putting up numbers,
Yeah.
and they'll be passing a ton. So I think they're going to lose. I think Atlanta's going to lose.
Now, I will say this, though. Russell Wilson last year averaged about 57 yards on the ground last year against St. Louis. I think that could come into play. If he's able to rush for about 60 yards.
Yeah. For me, Matt Ryan is gonna outscore him. He's gonna have a bigger game than Russell Wilson because it's Jeff Fisher's 3rd year there running the Rams. His first year there, 2013, they were 19th against the pass. Second year there, they were 17th. So they're just getting better every year. You know what I'm saying? And they get after the quarterback. Now, if they can tackle him, that's a different question. But they get after him. They got Quinn there. They got Long. They got
Best defensive line in football.
Best defensive line in football. They got what's his name that they drafted last year, the rookie.
When you play
forgot
with
his name.
don't they also have Nick Fairley as well?
Yeah, Nick Fairley too.
They got Nick Fairley. So
I mean,
they get after the
what's that?
quarterback.
They got Chris Long. They're going to be good.
Yeah. So
And they always do give Seattle props. I agree.
exactly. Always.
Now, a big play for McCarthy is Eddie Lacy against the Bears. Last year, averaged about 16 fantasy points against the Bears. How big of a game does Eddie Lacy have for McCarthy this week?
I'd say he goes over. I'd say he goes between 16 to 19 points. I don't say he goes over 20. I don't see him going over 20 just because they do got James Stark spelling in there. He gets a lot of red zone carries. I mean, Lacy is a red zone back as well, but Starks get those goal line carries as well.
Bears gave up 93 points combined last year to the Packers. It was an abysmal year to be a Bears fan. We're not going to be wearing much Bears stuff this year. Thank God for fantasy because the Bears suck.
Go Patriots.
Okay? It depends how bad the Packers want to take it to the Bears. I think they're going to be up early and often, and if they just want to run, pound, and just get out of here, be healthy, I think Eddie Lacy can run for 120 yards.
See, but that could come into play too. If they get up too big, then maybe they rest Lacy a little bit.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
No.
It's like pretty much their 5th preseason game for them.
Yeah. Now Steuben, question marks at wide receiver 3. Last time I checked, was starting Ruben Randall, who we picked off from waivers from Gallagher. Gallagher's not too happy that he dropped him. Over Anquan Bolden. Do you like that play? Who would you start? If you had to choose Ruben Randall, Anquan Bolden.
Anquan Bolden always kills the first game of the year. Always kills.
Mm-hmm.
So, with Ruben Randall, Victor Cruz still hurt. He's their number 2. I think it'll be pass lot. It's going to be a shootout of Dallas. So, I like the Ruben Randall play.
I like the Ruben Randall play as well, to be honest. Like Randy said, Victor Cruz is still out. He's the number 2. ODB's going to see double team all day. So, most of the passes are going to be going to either him or Larry Donnell, But Ruben Randall, like you guys said, he's projected 13 versus Dallas.
Breaking news,
and
by the way.
They lost.
Breaking news on the Fantasy Lounge. Yeah. Steuben is starting Landry, Randall, and Bolden. He's sitting Mike Evans with a question mark.
Oh.
With the little breaking news coming to you live from the Fantasy. Breaking news.
I think that chat was for no reason.
But we do know this though. Steuben likes to last minute switch, so I don't know.
He likes to poop tingle. Get on a little shitter, a little tinker stinker.
I just thought for sure he'd start Mike Evans, but that'd be a bold move if he sits Evans. I get it, Evans with the hammy, the leg injury, but still, that's a big.
You would sit Evans for one of them too.
That's especially when you draft him so high.
Yes.
But one thing though, Dave's not afraid to make a move like that. You gotta give that to him.
And he's always doing something.
So it comes down to this though: who wins Week 1, McCarthy Steuben?
It comes down to this. It comes down to running backs. And that's why McCarthy's going to win. With C.J. Anderson and Lacy starting over Forsett and Green, I think that's why I got to give it to McCarthy. First win in the fantasy football. First win for Solat T-Leagues. Congratulations, Mike. You got one. Got to give him the ball. Got to give him the game ball this week.
I actually agree with Randy as well. McCarthy's going to get the win this week just because, like he says, it's going to come down to the running backs. Forsett, he had a great year last year. But Tevin Coleman, I don't know what that guy's going to do yet. Not very proven yet to me. Randy, you want to say something?
Yeah, before we move on, I'm just going to say this. Landry's only projected 13 points, and I think I'll take over that all day. I think he's going to be in the rounds from 18 to 20. Huge game against the Redskins. Redskins are abysmal. They were in Commissioner's Corner last week. My hatred for the Redskins.
I think if Landry has like a 25-point game, Dave has a shot. I solely picking McCarthy just because I think Matt Ryan's gonna have one of those like 35-point games where like he kind of just
mad moment games.
He has. I think just Matt Ryan has a huge game against that weak Philly secondary.
And I don't see Jarvis Landry going for 20 to 25 points. That's the only way Dave has a chance this week, and I don't see it happening.
One thing, though, you can't say, though, McCarthy's receivers, besides Emmanuel Sanders, are not really doing much for him. So, again, if he gets something from Landry, maybe Ruben Randall gets in the end zone,
If Ruben Randall gets in the end zone, and he gets 15 out of Landry, chalk up the win for Dave, but...
Yeah, find a lot of what-if games here.
That's true.
Exactly.
Now, all three of us unanimous with McCarthy. So, let's go on to our next matchup.
Put on the board!
Let's go on to our next matchup. One that Yahoo predicts to be very close, and that's Matt Gallagher versus Simo.
What is it, 136, 135?
I think it's like 133, 131, something like that. Around those lines, Yahoo has a really close game. And we're going to start with the receivers. Gallagher's going Cobb, Jeffrey, John Brown. And Simo's going Julio, Andre Johnson, and Vincent Jackson. Which three core do you like better this week?
Want to take this one, Randy?
I gotta go with Wasim here, just because the health of Alshon. You don't know if he's even gonna play, so you gotta go Julio, and I think Andre Johnson's gonna be a monster. Especially if Mike Evans is out, not Victor Cruz, Vincent Jackson.
That's a good point.
I actually like Gallagher's receivers better. He's got 2 top 15 receivers, and but like he said, Alshon's still a question mark. But he was a question mark almost all season last year. he was still putting up big numbers. To me, Andre Johnson, of course, is gonna have a good year. He's father time right there. Julio, I don't see him doing bad this year, but that injury last year might just hold him back a little bit for me.
Right, see, I'm going Simo's receiver just for the fact that if Alshon at all is not 100%, like that to me just kills off any chance Gallagher has to win this week. So I mean, if he can't be 100%, Gallagher has no shot to win this week.
I'm calling. Oh, go ahead.
I think Rodgers might drop 40.
Stop.
Yes,
Huge
I'm,
game.
I'm calling it right now. Cobb's having a huge game. Jordy's out. I mean, Devontae, yeah, he's good. I don't even know who their number 3 is.
James Jones.
James Jones.
Okay, yeah, James. I mean,
Janice.
yeah.
That's
So
what you're fancy.
Cobb's getting peppered with throws.
This week is huge for the first clash for the Battle of Jerusalem.
Yes.
You got the Jews versus the Muslims, man. This is going to be a clash. That's why I love how close it's going to be. We're going to be biting our nails. Finally, Gallagher's going to be able to watch this game God knows where. He's probably halfway in the tank. He'll be able to watch this game and be on the edge of her seat. I can't wait.
That's going to be a good one.
I think it's going to be a really close game. Now, interesting move that Gallagher made like almost immediately after the draft, picking up D'Angelo Williams. Who has a better week? Frank Gore against Buffalo, a tough Buffalo run D, or D'Angelo Williams against New England? What's a better game?
Frank Gore.
Frank Gore. I mean,
I wouldn't even second guess that.
he rushed for 1,100 with San Fran last year. Ahmad Bradshaw.
Pouncey's out.
Yes, and Ahmad Bradshaw
He's
was
their best run blocker.
To me, it's not even about the run. I think D'Angelo Williams has like a 5-catch game. Whereas, like, I don't think Gore's. First of all, Gore's not getting the running lanes against Buffalo. Maybe Gore gets in the end zone, but I'm putting it this way. I think D'Angelo outscores Gore by at least 7 points.
Guess how many drop passes Frank Gore has in the last 2 years?
None.
One.
Because no one threw the ball.
Wait and see.
Yeah,
How many targets?
My-
did he have?
Over
my
under
thing
put on the
here-
board. Frank Gore has more catches than D'Angelo Williams
this weekend.
this week.
All right, I'll take that bet. Beer.
Alright. Witness.
Okay, so my thing with that one though is Ahmad Bradshaw 10 games last year with Indianapolis, and Ahmad Bradshaw has. I mean, he's a good running back. He's no Frank
No
Gore.
Frank Gore.
Okay, he
No
had
Frank Gore.
10 games. He had 425 yards. He had 4.7 yards per rush, and he had 2 touchdowns in 10 games. That's not even receiving. Receiving, he had 38 receptions, 300 something yards, and 2 touchdowns. So, I mean, and he's no like Randy said, he's no Frank Gore.
Indy was going running back by commission last year.
Exactly. With Trent
I mean,
Richardson.
it's not that I don't like Gore. I think this week's a bad matchup, and I think D'Angelo has a game where he's able to catch the ball in the backfield.
I feel like Indianapolis needs to establish the run early this year, and that's what they're going to try to do with Frank Gore against Buffalo.
In Buffalo, by the way.
Frank Gore's outscoring D'Angelo Williams this year. Or this
Who are we
week.
taking? That's what we gotta ask.
I think D'Angelo's going to outscore Frank Gore by at least 7 points this week. Fancy points.
Double beer.
So beer.
All right, now I think a big matchup this week is the defenses. Gallagher's D, Houston D going against Kansas City, and then SEMO Miami D going against Washington, a Kirk Cousin-led Redskin team. I think this has the potential to be very lopsided in SEMO's way. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I agree with that. Miami is going to at least have 3 sacks and at least 1 pick by Kirk Cousins.
There's blood in the water. Miami's going hunt. Redskins, they're done. Instinct. You know what? They're rounding them up. The Trail of Tears. It's over.
Yeah,
Miami D might drop 20.
I think so too. And
Yeah.
Alex Smith only 4 interceptions last year. He doesn't turn the ball over. Like, yeah, they could get to him, but at the same time, I think it's a low-scoring game. I don't think Alex Smith is making that many mistakes. Now, who wins this game? Gallagher, SEMO?
SEMO.
Simo Dallas. Gallagher's got his first loss right where he left off last year.
See, I think Eli does enough to counteract what Rodgers does. Obviously, I think Rodgers has a big game, but I think Eli does enough to balance that off. And I think with Julio having a big game, obviously he's got Marshawn Lynch there. He's more. I think Kelsey and Greg Olsen might cancel. So I just think that SEMO wins. But the one caveat is I think if Gallagher gets more than expected out of his running backs, I think he has a chance to win.
We're playing a lot of what ifs in this game.
Yeah.
Let's just hit people with points and get them what they need.
But I'm just saying, I'm throwing it out there. I think he could.
I think Seymour's going to win.
If ifs and buts were coconuts, we'd all be pencil sharpers.
Right, so I guess we're all unanimous. Simo?
Yeah.
Simo Dallas.
All right.
Stamp that one down.
Now, I think one of the most interesting matchups this week, and I think possibly the best matchup this week, last year's champ, Ryan Allenberg versus a very highly respected Lake Javert team this week. I'm looking forward to it. Now, let's
The
start.
battle of the old roommates, the old college roommates, taking it back to Charleston.
We'll start right away with the star-stud athletes at quarterback, Peyton Manning versus Tom Brady. Who do you like this week and why?
I like Brady. I mean, Brady's still Brady. He's got Gronk back healthy this year. He's still got Edelman.
Edelman's a question mark.
He's a question mark, but I mean, who isn't with New England and Belichick down there? They never answer questions. They're going to tell you questionable till the hour before, and he's going to come out and he's going to play like he was playing last year. He's still going to be great. Manning at the end of the year last year with that hamstring, I mean, he just fell off to me.
This is his hamstring. He was throwing ducks out there.
Exactly, which was because of his hamstring. For me, Manning, I just don't see him being the Manning of old.
Brady's in straight fuck you mode right
Exactly.
now. Straight fuck you mode. This is when they ran. Remember when they played Josh Gibbs and Redskins that one year? Right after the what's it called with the tapes and shit.
Spygate.
Spygate.
Yeah,
And they ran up like 50 on them.
Yes.
They are not. They might be up 30 or.
That was
They
the
just
year.
passed.
That was the
Passed.
year he threw
Passed.
50 touchdowns as well.
To me, all right, Pittsburgh's too prideful of a team to get blown out like that. And I think Tomlin's got something in store for Brady in the sense of the scheme. I don't think he lets Gronk get off as much. I think Brady might struggle a little bit this week.
I just don't. Pittsburgh is not what they used to be at defense.
Yeah, no, that's a good.
I mean, they can throw whatever they want at the Patriots. Bill Belichick will counter it like he always does. I mean, take away Deflategate, the Patriots were still the world champs last year. They did. I mean, every year they're contending, and every year, except for the year that I was almost a Teats, Tom Brady doesn't work. Every year, it's just a given.
That is good shout out for Late for his new team name, the Glorified Weasels. Digging it, Late. Digging it.
Now, each manager has two studs at running back. Ryan goes Jeremy Hill, Jamal Charles. Lake goes DeMarco, AP. Which two do you like better this week?
I like DeMarco AP this week.
I like DeMarco AP just because Jeremy Hill, I'm not too big on him, but Gio's still in
I
Cincinnati.
am huge on Jimmy Hill.
I know he took over last year, but Gio got injured. They rode the hot hand, and that's the only reason Jeremy Hill kept that job. I mean, he's still all the way through. He played right. He played well, but I just think he's gonna be splitting carries too much with Gio, and Gio's the third down back, and Charles, I love him, but every year he just seems to have something wrong with him, and I mean he's gonna have a good game this week. Don't get me wrong, but
I mean, I don't like the Charles matchup against Houston. I like Jeremy Hill against Oakland. I think with AJ Green there, though, they might pass it a little bit more than maybe they would have last year at this time. Now, I really like the DeMarco matchup against Atlanta. Atlanta gave up the most rushing touchdowns last year. I think DeMarco maybe gets an end zone twice this week, and I think from that reason alone, I think I like.
I like
Lace.
DeMarco as well, but just.
I think this is the best matchup of the week, and it comes down to one thing and one thing only, and that's the wide receiver threes. It's Adams could have a better week than Steve Smith.
He just might. If Jordy was still there, I wouldn't say it, but he just might.
See, I think this week too, like each team has great matchups, right? I mean, I like the Devontae Adams matchup, but I also like Steve Smith. Again, the matchup with him being basically the only option. I think Steve Smith has a 6-catch, 90-yard game, which is good enough for the wide receivers.
Does he get a touchdown in there?
He might. I mean, I don't think he
gets a
needs.
touchdown in there. That's 20 points.
I mean, I don't think he needs to justify Lake's wide receiver 3. I think if he puts up double digits.
That's more like Lake's wide receiver 1.
I mean, he's starting him at the 3. I mean, he's starting.
Yeah, it doesn't matter where you put him. I could put Des Bryant at my 3 and say he's my 3, but
that's true. But I mean, I think Amari's got more upside. And then
Amari's got more upside. But I mean, what have we seen from him? We've seen him play Patrick Peterson once and run a couple nice routes on him.
That's so mean.
I mean, it can, but like I seen Trent Richardson run for over 1,300 yards his rookie year, and the next year fucking come up and
Waldo says, prove
lay a
it.
brick.
Prove me week 1. That's what he wants. He wants results.
I want results. Yeah.
No, but I mean, late starting Golden Tate is his one against San Diego, which I think is a legit wide receiver one against that matchup. I mean, I'm just saying, I like both matchups. That's
Golden Tate wouldn't even be my wide receiver 3.
Stop.
If I still had Jordy, he wouldn't even be
25
my
minutes
wide
in, Waldo's
receiver 3.
speaking shit.
He could have had just as good as yours, Jordy. Honestly, I think he could have.
With Calvin there,
I think
Even
Golden
with
Tate,
Calvin.
bold prediction, Golden Tate might have a better fantasy year than Calvin Johnson.
I could see that happening.
I think this is the most even matchup of the week. So who do you guys like?
Like Ryan, taking my guy.
I'm taking Lath with this one. Just because I'm not big on Ryan's running backs. I mean, Charles, yeah, he's top 5, top 3 maybe even. Jeremy Hill, I'm not too big on him with Gio still there. So.
Slight edge to me to Lath. I think DeMarco has like a 35 point game and puts him on the top. And I think Brady.
I don't think he led the league in rushing last year and didn't score 31.
No, that's what I'm saying. I think he's having a huge game this week.
So
dropping a 30.
You're saying at least 2 touchdowns.
At least
with 100 yards.
I'm not saying he's dropping a 30 this week. At least a 30. I'm going on the limb. I think, like I said, Brady, Manning, Wash. The one thing though, but I don't want to get into what is Tennessee's defense late start, and we'll see if that's a pan out. You might regret that decision later.
Yeah.
Now,
I did it last year.
Let's go over to the man in the robe, the hottest host in Bridgeport, Mike Trotta versus Matt Channel. Let me hear the breakdown.
I think you got this one in the bag, Trotz, and I'm going to say why. Better QB, better wide receiver, better running backs, game over. I don't need to go too much into it. My only thing with Trotta's team, Mike, I got to ask you this. Why the hell are you starting Mercedes Lewis?
He passed the eye test. I saw him one preseason game this year. He went 3 for 60. He looked good. Bortles obviously has some type of rapport. I started Clay Harbor last year in some very dark times in my fantasy league, and Clay Harbor gave me a couple of good games. So let's just not knock Jacksonville's receivers just yet. I think Mercedes has a decent game. I think give me a 10, I'll be happy.
You got Mercedes Lewis going against Gronk. I've never seen that much of a lopsided victory for Channel.
For me, for Channel to win, Gronk has to have a huge game. I mean,
I think he can.
Did Gronk pop off?
I think he can.
I mean, yeah, of course.
Over under 1.5 TDs.
He's Gronk.
Shit.
I mean, I take the over on that.
It kills me. I might have to take the over too, and that's what scares me about Channel's matchups this week against me. I really like the Stafford Calvin matchup against San Diego. I think they could maybe combine for a 50, and then I think Rob and Gronkowski could go for a 25, which could put me in deep water.
For me, I mean, Gronk, of course, he's Gronk. He's a mismatch no matter who you put on him, where you're playing him. But like Randy said, Trotta's going to win this game. He's got better QB, better receivers, better running backs. I mean, Ivory's playing against Cleveland.
Cleveland rocks.
Horrible run defense. The Jets were 3rd in rushing last year. As bad as they were 3rd in rushing last year. So I could only imagine that they're gonna pick up where they left off there. And I mean, his Channel's gambling big with those running backs.
I'm on upset alert. I think Channel might take it this week. But I mean, I'm very pessimistic.
So you're betting against yourself.
No, I'm not betting. I'm just saying, watch out for Channel. I think he can pull upset. You know how I am too.
He just likes to do it so he doesn't set himself up for disappointment.
No,
that's all it is.
I mean, Channel's betting
woe
big.
is me. Woe is me. I lost again. Fantasy blues.
Channel's betting big on his running backs. Latavius Murray had a few. I know you love Latavius, but he had a few good games last year. He's still in Oakland. They're still the Raiders, and he's playing Melvin Gordon. I mean, he's got huge upside, but it's week 1.
Yeah.
You know, in San Diego, they don't. I mean, they're
Detroit
more
was
of a
number 1
offense.
against the run last year,
And they're more of a passing offense.
Here, no there.
Yeah, I'm saying.
Sale D projected 15 points. Is Cam Chancellor going to play? That's my question.
They said even if he doesn't play like that, that's why they don't need him, because they got so much depth back there. But, alright, like I said, Channel upset alert. Watch it. Now, let's go to the battle of our favorite Hispanics, favorite Mexicans.
Battle of Cartels.
Battle of the
You
Cartels.
did this on purpose, didn't you, Randy?
Andy versus Lewis. Lewis is going Forte McCoy. I think Andy's team was he's starting Alfred Morris and Gio Bernard. I think
Is this 2010?
I think Lewis's running backs might not score 80's running backs by 20.
Actually, sorry, 2012.
Would you, I mean,
Yeah,
is that a possibility?
honestly, that's a huge possibility. I mean,
I'll take luck. I'll take luck in this matchup. I know he's playing good defense, but Roethlisberger's missing 3 of his top offensive weapons.
yeah,
Like,
but
Le'Veon Bell, Martavis Bryant, and Pouncey's a huge impact to that team.
very
It's a
true.
huge
Very
impact.
true.
Their best lineman. I
This is
gotta give it to luck on that one.
This is probably Andy's best chance at a win this year. I mean, who's he playing? I mean,
Does Andy even care anymore? That's a question.
that's the real question. I mean, he's playing Alfred Morris and Giovanni. I mean, I know I said Gio was going to take some carries from Jeremy Hill earlier, but still, Gio's not. I mean, you can't start Gio Bernard at running back. I mean, he's essentially his running back one because Gio is better than Morris still. I mean,
Yeah, I think Forte and Bennett get a ton of targets because the Bears will be down early.
Yes,
I mean Bennett, but yeah, I mean, Andy's team right now is not looking too good.
And Andrew Luck is. I mean, I don't care who he plays. He's going to score at least 25 points. I mean, yeah, he's playing Buffalo, but I mean, he played top defensive last year, and I rode him all the way to the
So,
championship.
are you saying that Martellus Bennett has a bigger game than Jimmy Graham this week?
I said,
Way bigger game.
who scores more points, Graham or Bennett is a real question. I think
Bennett.
does.
Bennett, Jimmy Graham. I mean, you got to think about it. There was games last year where Russell Wilson threw the ball less than 20 times.
See,
Less than 20 times.
I think
you can't really. I mean,
you can't count on Jimmy.
you can't really count on him if he's throwing the ball that little. You can't count on somebody like that.
I think Graham finds the end zone, but I also think Martellus could have like a 7 reception for 90-yard game. So I think it cancels. Honestly.
He had 90 receptions for 900 yards last year with 6 touchdowns. So, you know, that's a huge season. He was the number one tight end last year.
I mean, I'm picking Lewis to win this matchup. The only way Andy makes it close is if Luck goes off, which I don't see happening.
I see it happening.
Yeah, I'm taking Lewis in the battle of cartel.
I see it happening. That's why I'm
Louis
picking
Lock.
Andy, because this might be his only win of the season.
Okay.
So,
No.
Sorry, Andy. I still love you.
Lewis is projected 130. Andy's projected 107.
Yeah,
He's throwing that out
it's
there.
not looking good.
Like, I'm not digging Andy starting Mike Wallace over Kendall Wright. I'm just saying that right now.
That's a good segue to the next one.
Kendall Wright against Tampa, right?
Yeah.
Mike, who's Minnesota playing? I forget. But I mean, I'm not a big fan of Mike Wallace. Never been a big fan. But at the same time, Kendall Wright, that's not blowing my socks off either.
Yeah, but I mean, who else do they got?
Mike
there?
Wallace playing
Justin
the 49ers.
Green Beckham.
I mean,
Mariota's looking for a blanket, and I think Kendall Wright's gonna be that blanket this year.
yeah, I think Andy's gonna have to scrounge and claw his way to a victory here. It needs to be a low scoring game for Andy to win.
I think he's gonna win just because Andrew Luck is gonna have a huge. I feel Andrew Luck's gonna have a huge game. I don't care who Andrew Luck plays. He's in the next 2 years, Andrew Luck will be the best quarterback in
If he's not already.
He's not ready.
the league. If he's not already.
We'll see.
So there we go with that.
No. Finally, we get to what we all been waiting for: the matchup of the week.
Prime
The
time,
guy sitting to my
baby.
left, guy sitting to my right. Waldo versus Randy.
Let's
How do we see this one
go.
playing out?
Catholics versus Muslims, bro. It's like the Crusades in this bitch.
Well, I'll let Randy take it first.
Go ahead, man.
Tannehill, Miller versus Washington D. That's all I'm gonna say.
Tannehill and Miller versus Washington D. Washington, I mean, they have a few defensive weapons. Still. I
They
mean,
suck.
They suck,
Don't
but
even
their defense
try.
still isn't that bad.
Their
Okay.
defense is awful.
For me, Des Bryant's gonna outscore Antonio Brown this week.
Needs to be a wash.
I think he's gonna outscore him just because
You're gonna need him to.
Martavis isn't there, Le'Veon's not there. The only thing New England has to worry about is Antonio Brown, and they will shut him down. Bill Belichick is good at that. They're gonna shut down Antonio Brown. Another reason I think that I'm going to win, Charles Johnson. Charles Johnson last year. Okay,
He's
I mean,
mortified Cordell Patterson.
Charles Johnson last year, last 7 games of the season, 450 yards receiving, 2 touchdowns, and 25 receptions. And
Last 4 games?
And that's in the last 7 games.
Last 7 games?
Last 7 games.
Is that even good stat?
That's decent.
That for a
Rookie
first
relative.
year receiver with a first year quarterback, and all that's coming out of the camps from reporters, insiders, is the chemistry between Bridgewater and Johnson is off the charts.
Allen Robinson outscores him.
I will put a bet on that one that he does not.
What would you like to put on that bet?
I'll put $5 on that.
$5. Witness.
Okay, and then another reason I think I will be winning this week is Amir Abdullah is flying below the radar. Joik Bill out the whole preseason. Same thing as last year, out the whole preseason. Was not a factor the first 6 games of the year. And I see that happening again this year.
I'm just letting you know right now on the depth chart, Abdullah is
number 3, yes.
But I'm not saying that it doesn't really mean much.
Doesn't mean nothing.
Anything.
He's gonna end up out.
Who's gonna score more points, Joik Bill or Abdullah?
Abdullah.
Okay.
He's gonna by the end of the game, Abdullah's out touching Joik and Riddick.
Is Abdullah gonna score more points than Ellington?
No, but I don't
All right,
know.
well that's who your matchup is.
See,
Mark Ingram is gonna have a.
Mark
Bigger
Ingram
game.
wins.
Mark
with
Ingram's
Spiller
gonna be
out.
there.
Spiller out.
He's gonna have a bigger game than Lamar Miller.
Yes, I'd see that.
I think they could wash. Now here's the. I don't get why.
Lamar Miller is not. I don't know. I don't see why you're so big on Lamar
He had a
Miller.
good preseason.
He had a good preseason. Okay, there's plenty of. It's preseason. It's preseason. The Bears had a good
You believe her in
preseason.
the eye
The
test.
Bears won the last game. What? 27-0.
Shut up, baby.
Bears are going 16-0, baby. 16-0. They had a great preseason.
Here's my question. Like, I would rather start Darren McFadden this week than Amir Abdullah. Just because you don't know. You're bashing channel on Melvin Gordon and you're about to start a rookie running back.
Amir Abdullah's going to...
At least
mark
Chandler
my
knows
words
this
this year,
starter.
guys. Here's a bold prediction.
Chandler knows this guy's a starter.
Here's my bold prediction for this year. Amir Abdullah, best rookie running back of the season.
Well, this is because
You heard it here first.
It's because the last
You
name.
heard
Hey, man, when you got God on your side, you don't lose.
Jesus.
Now, here's my thing with Randy. Right, I mean, over under 20 points for Ryan Tannehill this week.
Under.
Way over.
I mean, I'm not gonna say over. I said I'm gonna win. I'm not gonna say over.
See, I think Dez and Romo could have like a 60
Dez
point
and
week,
Romo are having a huge.
possibly.
They're coming for blood, bro. That Green Bay game last year pissed them off, and Dez Bryant is going to have a monster season, guys. Monster season.
All right, I'm taking Randy. I think we know who Randy's taking. I think we know who Waldo's taking.
Taking me.
I'm taking me.
Is Edelman even going to play? Has he
Well-
played all preseason?
Come on, Randy. Did we not just talk about
I know,
that?
but I'm just saying.
Did we not just talk about that? Do I have? I mean, it's Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick will
He's
play
got like
games.
a hockey injury. They say he's got lower body injury. You don't even know what's wrong with him.
Bill Belichick will play games till the last minute.
The thing about Edelman, if he's ready to go, he doesn't need to practice.
The thing is, we won't know because since they don't play on Sunday, the injury report has to come out on Thursday. So when it comes out tomorrow, we'll really know what's going on.
It's fine.
And they will put him as questionable. You guys heard it here first. Julian Edelman is going to be questionable on tomorrow's injury report, guys. As if we all
First
didn't.
win of
As
the
if
year
we all
for
didn't
Randy.
know that.
First win of the year for Randy. That's all I gotta say.
I think
Want to know, baby. Want to know.
I think this is going to be a very fun week one. I think there's a lot of potential for some big games. Now, that leads me to my next segment, a brand new segment that your host will be taking care of. It's called Pop Off and Drop Off. This is where I highlight one individual who's going to have a huge game, who's going to pop off, one individual that is going to flat out drop off for that week. So I'm going to start with my pop off. I am slightly biased on this pick,
Of course.
but my pop off for this week is none other than Chris Ivory going against the worst run defense from last year, the Cleveland Browns. I expect Ivory to have a huge game, 120 yards rushing. He's gonna touch the ball about 25 times. He's gonna get in the end zone, add 3 to 4 catches. I am predicting Chris Ivory over 25 fantasy points this week.
you heard it here first. This guy's projecting Chris Ivory the #1 running back this year.
No, not this year. Just this week. I really like the matchup. I think Fitzpatrick gives them some stability at quarterback. They're going to have to respect the pass with Marshall and Decker on the corners. I like them, and I like Ivory this week against Cleveland. He goes for over 25. Yahoo predicting only 12 for Chris Ivory. So he's going to exceed that. Now,
Someone's sipping the Kool-Aid.
He's gonna more than double it.
Dumping it on himself. Chris Ivory punch.
he's popping off
He's
this
more
week.
than doubling it, dog.
Now, I think this might be the only week this man is in the drop-off. And I'm talking about you, Andrew Luck.
Oh.
One
this.
thing to say, I disagree.
Think this. Now, Buffalo defense last year only gave up 16 passing touchdowns all year. They had 19 interceptions. The only team to have more defensive interceptions than passing touchdowns allowed, right? They're playing in Buffalo, right?
Buffalo.
We all know last year they got off the quarterback. I could only imagine what Rex Ryan's got in store for Andrew Luck. Not even to mention, Buffalo, there is high expectations. There is going to be a lot of juice up in Buffalo. I think Luck struggles to... First of all, they don't establish the run with Gore. I think he struggles. He throws a couple interceptions. And I think he goes for... Yahoo's predicting him 23. I think he's going to drop off. He's going to have a game 17 points and under for Andrew Luck. That's pop-off and drop-off. Now,
Can we just... Who do you think is going to score most points of the week? That's what I want to touch before we go.
Player?
I'm saying team. Most points of the week.
Oh, most points of the week team.
Who's going to win the $20?
Ooh, that's a good one.
I'm saying Simo.
I think Simo has a possibility with Julio. I think Lath could do it with DeMarco against Atlanta. You know, I like Simo and I like the Lath's team to possibly do it.
I say Simo. I'm a little... I don't know about Lath. I know Lath's going to win his game this year, or this week, but I don't see him outscoring everybody.
It was either going to be Wasim or Trotta, but with Trotta with that Mercedes Lewis start...
Watch him get in the end zone. Pull Jermaine Gresham. One catch for 10 yards at the tutty or something. That's all I need. Mercedes just get in the end zone. We're good. Now, I think I speak for everyone when I say the next segment is starting to become one of the famous segments of the Fantasy Lounge. It is the Commissioner's Corner. So, Randy, take it away.
This week's going to be a sad Commissioner's Corner.
Should we play some Undertaker music?
So
I get to light some candles.
light some candles. This is for the passing of Andrew Beans and I. October 1989 to September 9th, 2015. Andy, this goes out to you, man. What's going on? You need to talk to someone? It's hello! It's fantasy football. Where's your headache? You were starting Connor Brack. It's not even in the league, Andy. You've never done this. I'm worried. This is intervention for you, Andy. So sit down somewhere in a dark room, shut the blinds, take the phone off the hook, and lock the doors. I don't know what's going on. I think, what do they call it? I believe it's called love. But your love is interfering with football. And football always comes first. Where's the banter? Where's the one-liners, the puns?
I haven't seen any of them this year.
Where's the crappy one-liners?
I think he's thrown a few ha-has and laughing my ass off in the group text. That's about it. He hasn't.
It's been disappointing. Who
Yeah.
said?
Where's the guy we all grew
Grew to love.
grew to resent? That's what I'm asking, Andy. So I'm gonna start by saying this. Andy, you were one of those people in fantasy I looked up to. You know what I mean? The guy had it going on. The guy knew everything about football. He knew linemen that were coming up. He knew everything. But it's like that professional athlete you always loved, your role model, that just his career's ending. And you're just watching him decay, start rushing, can't do anything anymore. It's about time to take him out the pasture. So Andy, I don't know if you're going to retire after this year or what's going on, but I'd like to just thank you for probably the last, 8 years of good fantasy football, because it's over.
Honestly,
Unless you get your head on straight and start bringing it. Because you know what? I can't sit there. I can't look at you this way anymore. I can't take you serious. You're always happy-go-lucky anymore. I need you. I need one more solid season out of you, kid. And that's my pep talk to Andy and I.
That was a very good.
I think Andy fell off after that championship season, bro. He hasn't had a good year since.
That was very.
He almost went from first to worst that next year.
So guy doesn't care. Guy doesn't care.
Don't count Andy out yet. He's like that wily fighter, that veteran boxer. That
He's got one good fight left in him.
One good hook in him.
One good hook left in him.
So that about does it for this edition of Fantasy Lounge. We want to thank Waldo coming on the Fantasy
Thanks
Lounge.
for having me, guys. Thanks
Bring
for
it.
having me, guys.
Always a pleasure to have Waldo in the building.
I'm whooping your ass, Randy.
Now, next week Is Dave Stewart going to be on the show?
Dave Stewman's going to be in. He's penciled in.
The man, the myth, the legend, Dave Stewart will be in the lounge next week. Very excited for that.
Worst
He has to
quarterback
stop
in Oklahoma
texting you
history.
guys.
And we look forward to bringing you the breakdowns of all the Week 2 matchups.
Good luck to everyone. Week 1, best time of year. A lot of hope.
Sorry, Randy, you're going to start off 0-1 this year, bro.
You guys are always welcome.
We'll see about that. Now,
Sunday fun days.
at the crib,
I'll
you
be
guys
here
are
Sunday to talk shit.
always welcome to stop by 33rd and Emerald. We got the couches ready. We got the chairs ready. We got the food ready. We're ready for a great fantasy football season. Now, as always, it's been a pleasure. Never too late to come relax in the lounge. Take care, y'all.